It's good, yo. The red sun has returned. And as my brother has told you last time, I got a job. So I don't know how that's gonna fuck up scheduling. It's probably not. I'm probably still gonna make shit. But now I'm gonna have money. So it's not gonna affect you in the slightest. It's gonna make my life a whole lot better. But I'm gonna be tired. But I'm tired no matter what. Plus, I usually take naps in the middle of the day, so that shit solves itself out. As you can see by the title of this video, I have returned to this again. Yes, that last video was just about me trying to figure out the secrets of cringe. And you know, that was a weird thing to do. I'm sorry that you guys don't give a shit, because there's like 2 views on it, and I don't care. Now, that being said, I have returned to Class or Ass. But this time I've added a little bit more to it. There are now 3 categories based on what you're grading it by, because there are 3 things that every show should go by. At least a little bit. Unless it's one of those moe anime where you have to deal with little girls, and then that's probably not a good idea. There's class. There's ass. Then there's ass. Just flat out ass. Not good butt cheeks, it is ass. Now, like I said, due to the title of the video, you can see it. A little bit of a classic for those who watched it and thought it was fun, and those who didn't really see it too highly. I don't really see a lot of debate around this. There's certain shows that get debate, but then again, there's certain shows that kind of wibble wobble and people really don't know what to think of it because really nobody talks about it all that much. Now this one, High School of the Dead. Probably one of like the first 5 violent anime that I actually saw. Violent as in like I watched the I watched Dragon Ball when it came out on Nicktoons because I was poor and I had those types of channels. So I missed out on everything that was a remotely sexual joke, and I missed out on everything that had blood in it. It was really shitty. I didn't even know that Frieza got cut in half until afterwards. So I learned about these types of violent, actual violent animes a little bit later, and High School of the Dead was probably one of my was in the first 5, and I still look back on it highly. Now, I have mixed feelings about this anime because I look at it through nostalgia goggles and these normal goggles, but then again, I am a man of substance and I have watched my fair share of anime in my time. That being said, let's go on with the first indication. I'm going to go by the categories, alright? My first category is class. What I saw that I thought was good in it. Alright. Number 1, serious characters that take the problem seriously. Like, it's a zombie apocalypse. It's not like, oh, ninja kick zombie, sit there and pose. It's like, I'm gonna bash this thing's head in and throw those ones over the side of the rail, and we're gonna break into people's houses to stay safe, and we're gonna keep everybody as safe as possible. Like, they take the problem seriously, and that's a big point because a lot of the shows, a lot of anime, they usually like they have that power fantasy going on for them where it's like, oh, you live in like this fantasy realm. Wow, it's a fantasy realm. Guess I'll go fight a horde of orcs because I'm the hero. That's always the power fantasy where they're like, they don't see it as a threat. Those motherfuckers can kill people. It's like that part in Goblin Slayer where like everybody's happy and go lucky, and then the later half of the first episode goes down, and people start getting fucked up. Like that's like that's what happens in High School of the Dead. I feel like High School of the Dead did it a little. It did it first, but it didn't do it nearly as effectively. Like this, I thought there was going to be a main character that does not become a main character because you learn a little bit about him, watch him get bitten, and then die immediately. Like, that was a little shock for the part of my brain that hadn't developed yet because I hadn't been that far in anime. So that's a big point. Another one, the second point, is there's legit tension in the show. Like, you're not sure if people are going to survive in it. Sure, there are like slow mo parts, there are characters who are like doing really good fighting all these zombies, but like there's legit tension. The first episode starts out with the death of a character that was actually built up, so you're not sure who's going to live and who's going to die. I know the anime doesn't follow the manga. I have not looked into the manga. I feel like I should, because I have something else to say about that, but it will go on later. And now my third and final point for class. Like I said, great first episode. Immediately draws you in. Like, this is a zombie apocalypse. You should give a shit about it. It's gonna go down. It sets the line right there. And now, on to the reason that most people end up watching it. Ass. Ass. There's a fuck ton of good waifus. Just like out the bat, I think there's 3 or 4. I know there. I know there's a samurai chick, the guy, the main character's girlfriend, who's not his girlfriend, but you kind of want them to get together, and then it leads on to my next 2 points. Point number 2 is the teacher. The teacher is so fuck. I know she's ditzy and kind of like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And she's kind of airhead out of it. But she is adorable, and you will respect her. Point 2 goes for ass. Point number 3, Tsundere, pink haired girl. Kind of an asshole, but pink haired girl. Good pink haired girl. Very nice pink haired girl. Kind of an ass, but pink haired girl. Good girl. So that's 3 points into class, 2 points into ass, and now into ass. Just ass. What the fuck boob physics? Just absolute what the fuck boob physics. Like, okay, there are some times in anime that you can just flat out see characters like laugh and then their boobs jiggle up and down. That's all good and that's all well and good. It's a little bit exaggerated and we get it, but you know who you're marketing to because of that. You 100% get it. The characters are there, you're there, it makes sense. You're just doing stupid stuff like that. But if you're watching this, there's a good chance you've seen High School of the Dead. And that means you're familiar with the scene that I'm about to talk about. Guy fires a sniper rifle into zombies' heads while sword chick starts cutting them in half with a wooden sword, or at least bashing their heads in with it. But as the guy goes to fire, the girl pulls back, her chest still really far up, which I don't think you know how boobs work, but they don't really stay pointed upwards the entire time you lean back. They kind of go down. Well, I don't give a shit what bra you're wearing. If your boobs are that big, your bra is going to just push them back into your fucking, like, in your armpit. Yeah. Wanna know how I know that? Because I live in a house full of women. And a sniper rifle round just goes straight, and then her boobs are moving different ways as it goes in between. Do you have any idea how fast a fucking bullet goes? That thing flies I don't even want to get into the numbers. That's like 5,000 feet a second for a sniper rifle round that big, and that wasn't even like a 22 round. That thing was like a was either a 50 cal round or it's probably not a 50 cal round. I want to say 338 or something along those lines, or a 5.56. One of those two, and I don't fucking believe that took me out of it immediately. I was laughing my ass off, and then the rest of the time I'm like, I don't give a shit what you're going about. I just want to know, like, does that girl need baby powder? Because like her clothes rubbing against her skin as her boobs move faster than the movement of a bullet. I want to know, is she okay? Does she have a rash from that? Does she have nipples after that? Of just carpet burn across the whole thing, and she's just in pain all the time. So I know that's a weird thing to deduct a point for, but I'm deducting a point anyway, so that's 1 point into ass. Now, number 2 point into ass. There's a beach episode when there doesn't need to be a beach episode. What the fuck you doing? You broke into a dude's house to like just keep yourselves alive for a day, and then there's like an entire episode dedicated to just etchy in like a tub. It's a beach episode, and we all know it. It's just look. I'm not saying beach episodes are bad altogether, but like this is a show about you guys surviving the zombie apocalypse and doing a really good job setting up the whole thing. But it's a beach episode, and it's in a bathroom in like a really nice house, so it's a big fucking bathroom. But like, it's a beach episode in a bathroom. And now probably my biggest one. This is a shit ending. It's just open ended. They go out and they fight more zombies. It's a shit ending. There's probably the guys who read the manga who are like, the manga had such a better ending. Yeah, I didn't fucking read it. And I plan on reading it because I'm bored and I'm supposed to be stuck inside. But I have a job now, so I can actually afford the manga. Yeah, I don't buy the online ones. I buy the physical ones that I put on a bookshelf because I'm a man and I don't buy that shit on a. I'm like, what, a Kindle? I don't have a Kindle. Fuck you. But shit ending all around. It just ends with all the character. And I know this doesn't count towards any points, but I really like the fat guy. That fat friend that just shows up, he's a good guy. He's exactly the kind of guy that you'd want. That nerd who is actually really into guns. And he's really fun. But he's not enough of a drawing point for class ass or ass. He's just a good guy. So I think this is my first one that I've given like it's a flat across the board. It's just like solid A for effort. You did a good job. There's as many downfalls as there is upfalls. There's stuff that draws you in, but if you don't take it too seriously, you can kind of like look away from the ass. There's enough class of what's going on to like draw you into what's going on. There's enough ass to keep like the general public like entertained, but if you focus on those two, there's an easy chance that you'll be able to like just skip over the ass end of it. But if you're actually like taking it seriously, then the ass is just gonna come after. Then the ass is gonna come after you. If you're the best way that I can describe this is go in looking for. Don't go in thinking it's going to be super serious. Appreciate the seriousness of the first few episodes, but don't expect much after that. After that, it's a decent anime all the way through. It's very ecchi focused. It takes itself a little less seriously. And that's what it is. Don't take it as seriously. You'll be able to get through it. It's a decent show. I mean, if you've watched enough anime, there's a good chance you've come across this. I would recommend it, but I wouldn't recommend it highly. Go into it with no expectations and don't take it too seriously. Hey, the bad parts will outweigh it. You'll look back and think, I'm glad I watched that. But, like, yeah, that was it. Just flat across the board. Decent, and it kind of keeps itself where it is. It draws in who it wants to draw in, but it kind of pushes away the people that are there for different reasons. So overall, let's call that a solid 6 on the class or ass. Solid. It has the ass, but then there's the ass. Good show. Would watch once. Wouldn't watch again. Mostly because I don't need to. Ooh, would make memes about. Alright, that's it for the day, and I will be uploading again later in a few days. So my brother has to do a fucking video. That he's probably actually heads up for the next video. It's going to be an update video about another one. So have a nice day. The Red Sun signing out. Wash your fucking hands or I'll break them. Bye guys.